Jacob Wilson again not in the lineup today. He worked out yesterday? How's he feeling? Off the bench today? Is he available today? How's he feeling?
He's available today off the bench. Jacob feels better about where he's at. I think this was a decision to give him one more day. Anytime players feel like they're ready, there's times when they come back too soon or make a decision based on the desire to be on the field. I think he's still got some, soreness, but the soreness is obviously in a much better place than it was the last 2 days.
Just being cautious, no IL thing possibly coming or anything like that?
I'd say he's available off the bench tonight. So.
Shea being top 2 All-Star voting for catchers, that's pretty cool to see an ace player being recognized nationally by the fans and that kind of stuff. So what do you make of his first half of the season, and how cool is it to see him get recognized on the national stage like that?
He definitely deserves to be. You look at the All-Star ballot, you look at the other catchers around the American League, I'd say he's dominating the performance side of it. And it's nice that he's getting recognized nationally. I know a lot of the Toronto players are being recognized. It's their fan base. They have a great fan base. What they accomplished last year, obviously we opened the season in Toronto. They lost the World Series and got standing ovation for 4 or 5 minutes. So it says a lot about their loyalty to their players, their appreciation for their players, which is recognized, I think, in some of the balloting. But that being said, for Shea, I think he's deserving of that nod for sure.
Have you ever had to play or coach a game after a major personnel change like they had to do yesterday? What's that like, having to get your headspace to play a game after finding out something so close to game time?
Yeah, no, I haven't gone through that really. I think the closest situation I've experienced is in San Diego when Bud Black was fired. I was a hitting coach at that moment. So there's definitely that's a little different. It's a manager as opposed to the general manager who, yes, the general manager is involved with players. It's not on a daily basis. It's not managing the players intimately day in and day out with those types of relationships. So, to speak about the difficulties, I'd be really speaking blindly about that type of situation.
Detmer's been really good for them this season. There's a lot of strikeouts for him there. What makes him challenging to face for you guys? And you guys face him a lot, I'm sure, but what are the challenges he presents to you guys?
He presents challenges to everyone, not just us. He's having a really successful year. He's got a lot of strikeouts. He's got weapons to get people out. I think, for us, we're going to try to grind up bats out like we did last night, work counts, get deep into the pitch count, and try to get him out of the game as soon as we can.
We're looking out for Perkins tonight. We're looking out for him tonight.
Well, for Perk, it's about throwing strikes and getting the baseball in the zone. He's got weapons to get hitters out. 3-pitch mix really this week, or the change. When he's throwing the change up at the bottom of the zone and getting lefties to swing at it, that's when he's at his best.
Last night,
You got John.
You've seen your group respond in countless ways within games and wild roller coaster ride games, but for you last night to go through the first 4 innings and then do what you did in the 5th, what does it continue to show you about the group you've got?
We grind. This is a group that has been through a lot together. Even this season, we've sustained injuries where we've had to have guys fill and step up. Carlos Cortez did that when Rook was out the first time. We're seeing Jonah Heim really add to our lineup. And so not something that is uncommon. You definitely see that we've come from behind quite a bit, but we've also been ahead in a lot of games and not been able to finish them off. So I think this group's still learning. They're young, very talented, and the growth that we've seen over the last 3 seasons, which is really where we started with this group in 23. It's in line with, I think, the incremental additions that we've made.
What makes Heim so important?
Well, anytime you have a veteran guy in a role that adds not just on the field but off the field experience, I think that helps the group. He's been on a winning team. He's been an All-Star. He's been a Gold Glove winner, and he's been a World Series champion. So you add that type of player to a roster with a bunch of young guys that are hungry, it definitely helps.
What has stood out to you the most about Henry Volte?
Yeah, I mean, just his ability to sustain a curve that's not has not led to ups and downs that are peaks and valleys. It's been pretty consistent, and that's really what you're looking for from a young player. They generally don't respond that way. There's usually peaks and valleys, but for Henry, speed's going to kind of keep him off of maybe an extended period of failure offensively, because he can beat balls out on the ground. But he's pretty mature for his age. We've seen a pretty quick ascension to the big leagues from his first year signing, but not surprising because he was definitely one of the most talented kids, high school kids in the draft that year.
How much has Alika's production at shortstop made it easier to kind of give Jacob an extra day or two to kind of recover?
No, Alika's definitely playing well.
Yeah.
I think he's a kid that got to the big leagues pretty quickly. Had some limited opportunity. Didn't really have the offensive side of success that maybe the Pirates were looking for right away. I think we identified a player that we feel could really help our club from a depth standpoint and provide, great defense as well as maybe, the possibility of having the bat play more than it has in the past, and we've seen that so far.